Hi there, it's Howard from the Book of Genesis. I'm just going to demo some of the sounds on this new Hammond SK1 that I've got. I've got the 73 note version, and I got that because it's got the extra length which I can use to play both hands on one keyboard and hopefully make a lot of the organ sounds we need for Genesis. Now, as well as all the standard Hammonds, you've got some additional organs here. There's a pipe organ, which is great, a church organ, and you've got also a farfisa and a Vox Continental, as well as a whole bunch of other sounds which can be very useful, pianos, electric pianos and such like. So you really got a lot in this Hammond which you can use for Genesis. And I mean, one sound I just picked out from the church organs. You might think, oh, church organs not really used, a lot of Genesis uses Hammond, but actually from Duke's Travels. Well, it might be down here. So you've got that sound in the middle of Duke's Travels before Duke's End comes in, which is just a bit of a novelty sound that Tony used. And the other thing you can do, of course, you can make your own sounds by pulling out the drawbars, and of course you can have a split function to have split keyboard. And at the moment we're practicing a new song for next year, which is Can Utility and the Coastliners, and there's some particular sounds here which sound like musical instruments. Actually, with a Hammond you can recreate some of the sounds of musical instruments. It was if you like, you know, the organ was a kind of early synthesizer, if you want to think about it like that. And if you use your imagination, people have come up with some of these sounds. I'm sure Tony was aware of that, to get different sounds like orchestral instruments, and this is the clarinet. That's used in Can Utility, and then later it switches to a trumpet, which is a different setting. Something like this. It's 0, 0, 4 6s, 2 5s, and 0. It's not exactly like a trumpet, but if you use your imagination, you kind of get that effect. And then later on, you've got a fuller sound. Something like that. And that's used later on with the mellotron in the background with strings or triple violins. So, you know, you've got some really nice Hammond sounds here, and you can add overdrive. There's a bit of overdrive on that, that's why you heard a bit of distortion. You can put in effects like reverb, I can put in a lot of reverb. Put the reverb on. It's with a lot of reverb. You can adjust the reverb depth, of course. You've got the percussion sound as well, which you can add, which gives it a bit more bite. And you can put that on soft or full. It's on full now. And it gives a different effect. The other thing this has got, as I said, a lot of other sounds. You've got strings. It sounds like an early string synthesizer. I think that's like a Selena string synthesizer. You've also got electric piano, which is like the Yamaha CP70 that Tony used in the late 1970s, and Peter Gabriel has used a lot as well. A lot of people have used this keyboard on stage. You've got a bit of Gabriel through the wire. You've got a bit of particular sound with that piano, which is very characteristic, and that's a nice one. Also, you've got the pianette sort of type sounds you can create. This is going through a few effects, and you've got all the effects built in. You know, like a phaser and chorus. I think that's with the phaser and chorus on. Tony used phaser and chorus on a lot of the Hammond stuff instead of using the Leslie. He tended not to use the Leslie on the later albums. He used a phaser and a chorus instead of carrying around a heavy Leslie speaker. But you can create the Leslie on here for the earlier Genesis, or you can use effects pedals for later on. You've got a really lovely sort of church organ sounds when you want those. So there you have it. All the Hammond sounds, lots of extra instruments, and also a lot of variability that you can save away a lot of sounds to the user presets to be quickly recalled. And I've actually got so far nearly 60 of those.